You do. You do look good, but I got to record on my end.
Hi, Mom.
All right, perfect. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Bargain Brand Wellness. How y'all doing on this wonderful, wonderful Friday evening? It's nice that the sun's still out. We have our next guest on here, my
For
brother from
now.
the same mother, Danny Marean. How you doing, buddy?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Glad to be here for the ADHD episode as your leading expert on ADHD.
Pretty much. I mean, although we both have ADHD, you've had a lot more experience with it than what I have had.
And I feel like different kinds of it because when I was a kid, it felt like a different kind of ADHD than what I experience now.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I mean, you're definitely a different person what you were then.
Yeah.
But I've actually talked. I use you and me as an example in training quite often. I like to use what I know.
Cool.
They say talk about what you know. So when I talk about ADHD, I actually use you and me as a specific example. I explain that you were diagnosed as a child, and correct me if I'm wrong. Would you agree that you were more as a child the stereotypical ADHD?
Yeah, it was more, hyperactive and didn't pay attention and couldn't sit still.
Yeah. And so that's what I
Stuff like
explained.
that.
Whereas then I explained, like, for me, someone who didn't get diagnosed until adulthood, I was a complete opposite. Super hyper focused, right? Did well in school,
Yeah.
but had more anxiety behind a lot of it.
Right.
I probably had ADHD as a kid, but because it didn't look like what stereotypical ADHD was, it just no one thought about it like that. I was just a weird kid at times, I guess.
You were a weird kid all the time. We both were.
Yeah. Yeah. So you say, what your ADHD now is different than
So
than
now,
when you was as a child.
and I mean, this started in like my mid 20s, maybe even before that. It kind of changed. I wasn't hyperactive anymore. That could have also been a lifestyle change too, because I noticed that. Well, I mean, I guess in high school I stopped the whole hyperactive thing, but it was kind of when I started gaining weight. I
Yeah.
wasn't hyperactive anymore, but it was more. Um, I have a extremely hard time focusing on a lot of tasks, paying attention, and then chronic fatigue really, really affected me through my late 20s and early 30s. And it took probably close to 10 years to get my about 7 or 8 years to get my meds right, to where I haven't changed my meds in 3 to 4 years, and they helped me a lot.
And so now you're in a good place with your
right, and I was going through a point where, like, when I take my ADHD meds, I don't like drinking. It just doesn't make me feel good.
You
Hurts
take
my
Adderall,
stomach.
right?
Right.
And they say you're not supposed to drink with that anyway.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, that's
so,
that's what my doctor told me, but
well, it hurts my stomach anyway. So there for a while, like, I still enjoy drinking. So, like, I would take a week off of my medicine if I wanted to drink, and like I wasn't helping my brain at all, because when you come off of that medicine, it's like a roller coaster going down.
Mm-hmm.
You get, like, after the second day, you get real bad brain fog. I get headaches, and then the fatigue sets back in like really hard. And then, after that week, like, whenever I want to get back on my medicine, it was like that first day or two, you feel like you just took a bump of Coke.
Okay.
And I don't really like that feeling. I like being level.
Yeah.
And I'm more productive that way. So.
All right. So my experience was a little bit different, but I also was only on it for a shorter period. I was only on mine for like 6 to 8 months. And for me, I found myself chasing that dopamine boost.
Oh,
because
okay.
I would take Adderall first thing in the morning, and within 10 to 15 minutes, boom.
You feel it. Yes.
I mean, locked in for hours. I mean, I could just be sitting here and I could just be reading something, or just I would be hyper focused, but I'll forget to eat.
Yeah, that happened to me a lot whenever I first started taking it. When I first started taking it, dude, I could honestly clean my entire house in one day.
Yeah. And so then when I got off of it, I didn't experience that brain fog you're talking about. I was just more chasing that dopamine hit. And I would just try to find different things to hit it. And it took me a while to kind of just level out to just normal.
Yeah. I mean,
Normal
at first
dopamine.
I was kind of trying to chase it too, and I was doing it with like caffeine and stuff like that, but
Mm-hmm.
caffeine doesn't affect me anymore. So what I learned to do is in the evening time is whenever you want to settle down, you get relaxed before you go to bed anyway. So I started making myself look forward to bedtime, to sleep,
Okay.
because like when my head would hit the pillow, I felt great. And if I didn't get at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep, I felt like shit the next
Mm-hmm.
morning, even after taking my medicine. So I learned to force myself to enjoy the, you know, settling your body down, relaxing before bed. And now it's whenever it comes like 8, 9 o'clock and I'm almost ready for bed, I enjoy that time a lot.
Yeah. No, I do too. I'm for me, because I don't do the medication anymore. I've thought about it a couple times, but I think going back to work was a huge bonus for me. Plus a lot of the other things I've done. I don't think I need it. I'm just worried. I have a very addictive personality, and I worry that I was just kind of end up going back to just really kind of chasing that. But
Yeah.
same thing. I kind of just, yeah, kind of just find it in way to enjoy little things, and it kind of takes a lot of a mind shift. I've been trying to get back into shape a little bit, so I make it a point to get on the treadmill 20 minutes every morning. I've been working out every other day, with the exception of today, just because it's been a hectic day.
Are you doing your little girly push-ups still?
No, I do not do
No,
girly
I'm
push-ups.
just
I do real push-ups. What I do like doing, because abs are one of the hardest things to work, I started doing what's called dead bugs. You ever heard of them? You
no.
kind of lay on your back and almost like you're a dead bug. Your feet are bent, and then your hands are up in the air, and then like you'll extend one arm and one leg, and then back, and then vice versa. But you're on your back the whole time, so it's really engaging your core. I actually really like those ones. They don't hurt my hip as much.
That doesn't sound like a workout.
It is a workout. It's a workout because your hands and your feet aren't ever touching the ground. They're up in there. It's kind of like 6 inches at
Oh,
most.
you ever tried Superman's?
Yes. Yeah, they're
They
not too
hurt.
bad. They hurt, but they're not too bad.
Why don't you just be a man and do some planks?
I don't like planks. Because I got to keep moving.
I
For
don't either,
me,
but they hurt.
this is my ADHD, and this I don't know if you're like this. If it doesn't interest me, I don't want to do it. I have to get excited about it to want to do it.
I remember the one day me and Caleb were at the gym and we were on the mats and we were trying to do like a core workout. And so we did planks and he was like, well, how long are we going? I said, go to fail. Go until you can't go anymore. No bullshit. I lasted maybe 12 seconds
Really?
in plank
On a
position,
plank?
but well, that's also because like I've gained a lot of
Yeah, if
weight
you haven't done
since
them in a while.
in a year. Caleb went, I think it was like almost a minute. Because he's got a weak core too. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was really disappointed in myself. Like 12 seconds on a plank, but they're tough.
They are tough. They are tough. Yeah. So I mentioned today we're doing a slightly different format within our guest episodes. Some of the segments that we do on the show, usually when it's just me and Nova, I actually wanted to start kind of incorporating into our guest segments. So you'll get to be our little guinea pig for this
Oh,
one. So we're gonna do a
great.
segment of that's debatable. I'd like you and I to debate a topic, nothing that neither one of us may be super strongly convicted about, but if you'd like, we can kind of go back and forth on this debatable topic. And actually, we kind of just already talked about it a little bit. Should ADHD be treated primarily with medication?
Okay.
Which side would you like to take? I'm prepared to take either side.
I'm going to take the no side.
The no side. Okay, so you're going to take the against side. I'll take the
Right.
for side on this. So, and I'm kind of like you. I could really go either way on this. So the for side, understanding that ADHD is more than just a mindset shift, which can help. Don't get me wrong, but it's more neurological. There's a lot of things that need to be firing in there. The reason most people with ADHD struggle is because their brain isn't able to produce dopamine at the right levels. So it creates a bigger problem. So that's where the medication can come into place and can help.
Right. So what I'm going to say against that is that, getting that dopamine can help. There are other ways to get that dopamine effect in your body, but you don't want to be addicted to a dopamine fix because, a lot of that can lead to um, unhealthy choices. There's some people who cut themselves to get a dopamine hit. But also the reason because some ADHD medications are not the best for your body. I mean, you look at Adderall, like these are amphetamines. They're not really good for your body. I mean, it's almost, like taking a bump of Coke.
It feels like it.
I mean, it's a controlled substance for a reason, and it can be dangerous if you don't take it the right way. So, and I know there's people out there that abuse the medicine that they take, and I've seen it in people, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's for everybody in that situation. So,
okay. No, I mean, that makes sense. I guess the biggest push that I have is I think medication management's an important thing. Now, it helps if someone has the proper support systems in place. A lot of these medications, the reason that they don't end up working is because we don't trust the process, right? You need to kind of figure out dosages and different types of medications. I did hear from a colleague one time recently that they actually do, I think it's called gene testing, where they'll swab and kind of get some of your DNA, and they can figure out how certain medications will react in your system. So something like, what are all the different ADHD? Vyvanse, Adderall,
Ritalin,
Concerta, different ones. They can actually see which ones might interact with you, which can then boost the benefits of that medication for the individual.
Well, and also it'll cut down on time that it takes to figure out what works for you. Because that can take a while. That could take months up to a year, you know?
Yeah, I can just see someone who's really struggled, right? If you're someone who struggled with school, work, or even emotional regulation, that medication in itself could end up really helping those individuals. I mean, I know when I first got on Adderall, it was a major benefit. I mean, it did everything I needed it to do. I was locked in. Other than the fact that, I kind of felt like I was getting a bump of Coke, which I've never tried, but how it took me
3 medicines to get on the right one. So when I first started back on it, I was on Ritalin, and it kind of worked, but it didn't work long enough. And at the time, I don't know if they do now, but at the time they didn't have an extended release, so it didn't. I mean, without getting at a dangerous level of a dosage, like by midday it would cut off. Like it would just wear off of my body, and so then I switched to Vyvanse. I'm not a huge fan of that one because that made me like a zombie.
I have heard that.
It made me like a zombie, as like no emotions. I had no emotions at all. Like I couldn't laugh, I couldn't cry. I was way too super focused on, like, I would literally lose track of time for playing a game or doing different activities. I would literally lose track of time. So then that's whenever the doctor that I have now, she put me on the extended release Adderall, and it took a couple like tweaks to the dosage, and I'm finally on the perfect one and been there for 3 or 4 years. So.
Yeah, and I will say the extended release is necessary. When I first was on it, I was on the extended release, and it was wearing off by late morning, early afternoon.
Right.
So it wasn't really helping. And that's when I really started chasing. That's when I was drinking caffeine. That's when I started really getting into energy drinks there for a little while, because I was like, I need it. I need energy. I need positivity, and it wasn't working.
I would also say another thing against medicating for ADHD is, I don't think because there's different kinds of it, and I don't think every kind needs to be medicated. I think a lot of it, and I've heard a little bit about this on Joe Rogan's podcast with different experts that he's had. A lot of it is what what you eat and drink.
Mhm.
Making sure you have the right supplements in your body, like vitamins, having the right amounts of vitamins in your body, eating healthy, not eating stuff with all those dyes in it. Because I think the dyes and the carcinogens and stuff that's in our food and drinks causes a lot of these mental
You're not one
disorders.
of those MAGA crazies that thinks vaccines cause autism, are you?
Vaccines.
I'm just
I don't
joking.
think I was gonna say I don't think that's a MAGA thing. I think there's a lot of actual studies that prove that.
Okay. No, that makes sense. All I'm gonna say is trust the science.
What do you mean?
I'm just joking.
I was gonna say don't do that. If I'm trusting the science, then see you're gonna get me started on a tangent you don't want me to. Why are we giving a
That's
hepatitis?
debatable.
Why are we giving hepatitis vaccines to babies?
Yeah,
You want to get started down that path?
You saw the same episode I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah,
that is a good point. So that was our first guest segment of That's Debatable. Not bad. Trying to find different confrontational type topics really to debate with guests. It's easy for
I don't like confrontation.
You don't like confrontation? You're all
no. I mean, well, against you, I don't mind because I want to fight you on occasion
and lose.
Yeah, okay, that'll be the day.
That'll be the day that he dies.
Damn.
So, so walk us through a day in the life of someone who has been dealing with their ADHD for 30 plus years.
Oh, you're asking me at the most boring time of my life right now.
Listen, but that might be the time, where your ADHD might come into play. Maybe it goes to my point about the importance of medication.
Okay, well, this is the importance of medication because right now I'm on a routine 7 days a week. And you can ask Caleb and Ashley, if my routine gets messed up, and I don't think I have OCD, at least, it doesn't feel like it. I hope not. But if my routine gets messed up, I either get mad or I panic.
So I can tell you it's not OCD. I did a little research on this because I actually thought for a while I had OCD. It's your ADHD. When you're very hyper focused on something and something breaks that focus, yeah, you tend to become emotional and frustrated. That's normal.
Okay. So, I mean, a day in the life of me. So it all depends on my work because right now I get to choose my own hours. I'm up at no later than 7:30 every morning.
Okay.
First thing I do is I take care of the animals, then I take care of myself. And depending on the time of year, with delivering groceries, sometimes it's busy in the morning. Right now it's not. So I actually stay at home in the morning and I usually don't go out till like 12 or 1 right now.
Okay.
So in the mornings, I find something to do. I would like to use that time for the gym, but I'm a lazy sack of shit and I'm not. So I usually sit there and watch like ESPN in the mornings, like First Take, Get Up, stuff like that. And then I'll go out and pretty much work all day. I'm working 6-7 days a week right now. And come home, I'm usually home by 6 because I got to take care of the animals. Again, I'm on a time thing. The animals need to be fed by 6:30.
Yeah.
And then, I chill with Ashley and Caleb in the evening until we go to bed. And usually that's around like 10:30 now. So, yeah, this is a really boring time of my life for you to ask that question.
No, but it's important because you're right. Here's the funny thing about the routine. The routine for someone with ADHD is so hard to establish, but once they establish it, don't break it because it can crumble. It'll send your whole world to chaos. You'll just all of a sudden a month from now, you'll find yourself just sitting like a lump and not doing anything. So
I panic a little bit.
Yeah. So here's what I've been working on to create new habits because I'm a relatively healthy person, but yet I still feel like crap sometimes. Right, my hip hurts.
Right.
This damn belly that I can't seem to get rid of. So what I realize is once I get excited to do something, I go full bore into it and it's too much to sustain. So I'm learning to throw little things in there to create that habit, such as 20-minute walk. I just started working out this week, but I started over the last month with 20-minute walks. First thing, as soon as I get up, 20-minute treadmill walk. Not elevate, not incline, nothing that's going to cause a whole lot of discomfort for me. Enough to get a minor sweat, get your metabolism bubbling, getting everything moving, and then that's it. That's all I do in the morning because that's all I really have time for. I probably could work out, but then I start rushing, which is why I couldn't sustain this before, and I start panicking because even though I could probably show up to work, not anytime I want, but I don't clock in. So
damn, poor Mike.
Well, that's all of us. That's my team. We don't clock in. So although I usually get there at 7:30, if I showed up at 7:45, there's not that big of a deal. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I got to be there by 7:30. So it didn't work for me. This way, I'm not in a hurry. I work out when I get home. We do have a home gym here that I've been trying to get in the habit of using. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just creating small little workouts. I figure something is better than nothing, right? Like you said, a 12-second plank. Sure, that's not good, but that's more than what you did the day before.
You know, I have a solution for this that you can take out this whole routine thing and fill your time with other stuff. And I can stop being a lazy sack. Well, I can continue being a lazy sack of shit. And one thing for you and me both to take care of it. Hear me out. All right. Ozempic. Let's just go. Let's just go for it.
But that's, I mean, I've seen a lot of people lose a lot of weight. The other thing for me is that's the only area I need. It's really just my belly.
Right. So Ozempic will take care of it.
And it's like, for me, it's only like 10 to 15 pounds.
Right.
I will say I have noticed just over the last couple weeks, the other thing I've been really working on is my portion sizes. I overeat way too much, but I've been getting better at it.
I'm the opposite. Really. I knew Mom was going to say something.
No Ozempic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying just Ozempic. There's other GLP ones that you could do. I don't know if I want to go that route because it just feels like cheating.
Yeah.
A little bit. And see, I'm the opposite when it comes to eating. I'm not an overeater. I actually don't eat that much. Really? I do. I think a lot of my weight, to be honest, is water weight, liquid weight.
Yeah,
because
I'd agree with that.
You will never find me without a drink.
I'm the same way.
During the day.
I'm pretty sure that's an ADHD behavior as well.
Well, my mouth is always dry, cotton mouth from it. So, but when it comes time to eating, I don't really eat that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. That's good. So yeah. So the small routines are really helpful. Today in science, right? A recent 2024 article on brain imaging study found that many people with ADHD, parts of the brain responsible for attention, planning, and impulse control develop more slowly than average. Researchers looked at thousands of brain scans and noticed that areas like the prefrontal cortex, which is the part that helps with organizing tasks, regulating emotions, and staying focused, tends to mature on a different timeline. So the ADHD brain isn't broken, it's often just developing more slowly in those systems. That can make things like deadlines, organization, or long boring tasks feel way harder than they do for other people. And interestingly, ADHD brains often work interest first instead of priority first, which is what we kind of talked about. Meaning if something is interesting or urgent, focus can lock in. But if something is important and boring, the brain often will refuse to cooperate. So here's the question I want to throw to you. Do you feel like your focus shows up more when something is interesting rather than when it's just important?
So I found that this was the boring thing was probably my biggest issue in school. And I wish I would have figured this out way sooner. That you can your brain can turn something boring into something exciting. You have to, like, if you have to do a task, do it in a way that you know, makes it exciting for you, even if it, you have to break it down, like do the task, like, do 10 minutes here, take a break, do 10 minutes here, take a break. Or like, it's hard to describe. Like, there's stuff that I find boring, but my brain will find like ways to do things differently than other people would, and that makes it more interesting for my brain.
Because you're associating with something else you are interested in.
Right.
Whatever that might be.
I love anything that has to do with like puzzles, not like, just the tabletop puzzles, but like puzzles in general. So a lot of my tasks, I kind of like to do, I kind of turn it into a puzzle to try to figure out how to finish that task or complete that task and make it interesting for me by doing the puzzle, so.
Yeah. And so like, this is the nerd in me. Like mom and I are both, we love numbers, but I also like, I'm a big policy guy. So like I got put on a policy revision team, and we were given small tasks. And here's what I've learned within the work that I do is you give people a small task, half the people do it. Other people say, I'm working on it, and then they eventually give you something later. Whereas me, if you give me a task, I'm jumping on it right now, and I get super hyper-focused on it. I come up with all my own revision suggestions and forward them on to other people to share. I enjoy it, but I'm hyper-focused on that. It's not that I'm super excited about that, but I'm excited about the opportunity to have something new.
And something to do, actually to do.
Yeah, especially when I'm not training. Because you're right. A lot of times, if I don't have class, there's not a whole lot to do.
Right.
Yeah. So what you're talking about, like breaking it down, this is exactly what I also do in school. Because let's take this example. One of my classes I just did was called Alcohol in U.S. Society. Great class. I really enjoyed it. We got to make like our own social media campaign. It was fun. But some weeks I might have 10 to 15 different readings that I have to do within that whole week and then do a discussion post on later. Half of which probably aren't even involved in the discussion post, but I don't know that at the time.
Right.
So what I do is I'll use AI to create what I call the bucket breakdown. I'll upload all of those readings because I can read those and I probably won't remember half of what I just read. So I'll upload them to ChatGPT. I said, and I have my own prompt that I give it. Give me the bucket breakdown. Take each of these articles and put them into different buckets, and then let's have a conversation about it. It'll give me like kind of an overarching summary based off of that topic, and then we'll have discussion questions, and it'll help relate it to what I already.
And what are the buckets for?
The buckets are to put all the different articles in.
Categories?
Yeah, basically creating its own categories to put all of the articles into.
That's funny because like with a lot of different stuff, I separate everything into categories. Yeah. And that helps me. All right, so it makes everything smaller, so it feels like it's more accomplishable. It's more manageable. So then I tackle this category, then I tackle this category. Like, perfect example, when I'm doing a tabletop puzzle, I categorize everything by, a color or a part of the puzzle that, if there's a bear and woods, I get all the trees and then I get the bear pieces. Making everything into a category makes it so much more easier and feels like it's more accomplishable.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I don't know why you say you're having a hard time hearing me. It shouldn't be anything going on my side. I'll turn me up a little. I don't want to turn me up too much.
Turn your volume up, Ash.
it could just be her. Okay. So yeah, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be something that you're interested in. It can be something important. You just have to make it somehow in your brain. You have to make it interesting to you, because
right,
you're right. Like if not, you have trouble locking it. Like over the years, I've been trying to get back into reading, and I do pretty good. But then there's times where I might go like a couple months without reading. But I've been doing a lot of reading lately, which makes it easier. But if I feel like I'm just reading just to say, hey, I've read a book today, I struggle to really get involved. I have to find something that I want to read. Like I found these. We were down there at the Queen City, the flea market place, and I've always wanted to read these like Star Wars books, but they're not based off the movies. They're just additional stories, and these aren't even canon. These are what's called like the legend. like the legends. Like there's stuff that
Oh,
they
okay.
might pull from these that's accurate to the movies. It's still got like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, but it's
Right.
its own story. I read both these books in less than a month. I just finished one of them last night. And they're both like 350 pages, but I was interested in it.
Right.
So that's one of the things that can be a little bit difficult at times.
Oh, Mom's saying the same thing.
It's hard to hear Tim compared to Danny. That's weird. I mean, I had an issue with my volume a while back where it was really, really loud. See, Mom, you're on YouTube, so you shouldn't have any issues hearing. I don't want to turn it up too much, but we can do that right there. I don't know. That's why it'll be nice whenever we get this new computer.
Very true.
Yeah. Ethan. I don't know if he's still on there. Yeah, because I haven't touched any of the settings on here, so everything should still be working fine. Unless it's Discord. I wonder sometimes it's not Discord. Something pulling more from the mic or something, or I don't know.
Oh, it could be.
It actually could be. Because OBS...
So you sound fine in my headphones, but
OBS is reading
that
me
myself.
fine. I don't know why YouTube and TikTok would be different. I can turn myself up more on TikTok, but where I'm seeing the meter at, I don't want to take it up too much higher.
Right.
And yeah, maybe it's just how loud you are. But I don't really want to turn you down because you don't sound too loud to me.
Right. Now you sound fine to me, but I can control that on my end.
Yeah. And plus, you're just a loud person anyway, so.
I'm really not, though. I can be, but I'm really not.
All right. So the last segment I wanted to kind of talk about today, I wanted to do our own little version of what the hell? Our reoccurring grind my gears segments. I have a couple of thoughts here that are things that can really grind your gears as it relates to ADHD, especially when we talk about the stereotypes that people throw at people with ADHD, right? Oftentimes they say, hey, if you're really struggling, just make a list, right? Because that list is actually going to solve your problems, right?
Are you asking me?
Sure.
Oh, making a list, yeah, it can solve your problems, absolutely.
But it doesn't always work.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. This is my list app on my note app on my phone, and I have a lot of lists. I'm just saying.
But regardless, people, stop being so judgmental. What the hell? All right. Here's another one you've probably heard before, and you even say it about yourself. Being called lazy.
Yeah, I'm a lazy sack of shit.
But
It's procrastination more than anything.
But maybe it's just your ADHD just getting in your way when you're having a really bad day.
No.
What the hell?
No, it's not.
We kind of just talked about this one. Just focus on something you like, right? Ignore the things you don't.
I'd love to.
But it's not always realistic, right?
We can make it that way, but your life is going to be shit.
Yeah, sometimes priorities pop up, right? So we have to focus not on just what we like to do, but even the things we don't. Nobody likes to pay bills, but you do it anyway.
Fuck those bills.
And here's a little note. People with ADHD struggle to pay their bills on time, which is the great thing about automatic payments.
Hey,
as long as you don't overdraft.
Stop pointing at me. I feel attacked right now.
That's why you got to say it. What the hell? ADHD people are known, people with ADHD are known for losing things constantly. Where did I put my phone? Where did I put my car keys?
I
actually did
never
this
lose
one time.
anything.
This was a long time ago. I was on my very first cell phone having a conversation with someone. I was in my car, had been in there a while, wanted to get out of the car, and said, as I'm talking, I was like, where the fuck is my cell phone? And I'm talking to the person, like, I really can't find my cell phone right now. And I'm on there, I'm like, and the person, I think she might have been high. Because she was going along with me. Where'd you last have it? Where'd you last see it? And I'm like, what the hell? I'm on my cell phone. But I was there for like 5 minutes looking for my cell phone while on my cell phone. What the hell?
I feel attacked. I never lose anything.
And not only, I mean, she's putting in all caps too. He loses everything and then yells at us. Ashley,
Okay, no.
what the hell?
I don't lose stuff that they move or take. That's why I yell at them.
All right, well, here's our last what the hell comment. You ever get the one where you don't seem like you have ADHD?
I've forgotten that.
You've never gotten now.
No, everyone looks at me and they're like, yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That motherfucker is the leading expert on ADHD.
He's the poster child for ADHD. Well, I've gotten it. You don't seem like you have ADHD. I didn't know it's something you could see. What the hell? Oh shoot, that was fun. Yeah. Now, like I said, I wanted to start kind of incorporating some of the segments into my guest appearances. So I'm glad you were my guinea pig for me. I might scare people I don't know off when I try to do it though.
Have you ever looked up different videos on YouTube about like people and their daily life and basically vlogging with ADHD?
I've thought about that, and I was like, I almost tried it, but I'm like.
But have you ever watched other people?
Mm-hmm.
I did a few years ago, and I ended up coming up on this girl, and I've watched a lot of her videos and how she deals with it every day, and she took medicine for it. Well, she ended up moving to a different city, and she had to get her doctor to send her medicine to a different pharmacy, and then they had to do a prior authorization. Anyway, she ended up not having any medicine for like 3 or 4 days, and this girl, I mean, went into full breakdown and bawling to her recording herself bawling because she didn't have her ADHD medicine. And I've had to go without my medicine for a little bit, but I've never, had to rely on it so much that it made me cry.
It made you break down.
That's just what scares me about some people, that they rely on it too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. No, I've thought about doing vlogging videos, and it sounded like a cool idea. But the one thing we talk about interest, editing.
Yeah, Mom. He gave a what the hell.
I'm sorry that your dad gave you ADHD because we know it came from him and not me. What the hell? That's a good one.
I mean, that's true. We definitely saw Dad, Grandma.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in Grandma until after she passed away, and we started going through her house.
Yeah.
And then realizing, holy crap, like just how she had everything organized. Dude, she had shoes that were in box, never worn. I mean, like, why do you still have that? And like, it was just because ADHD, she didn't want to get rid of it, but she wanted to keep it, perfect and organized.
Yeah.
You could see it bad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But she was more organized with hers. Yeah, it was like she was medicated, but she wasn't.
That's the thing with ADHD. When they say it's on a spectrum, and I know people overuse that term, it really is on a spectrum.
It's on its own damn spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, when you think of someone like our grandma, you figure she only had one child, right? She was single, so she could kind of do whatever she wanted. So she kind of organized her life and didn't have to answer to anybody. So throughout her whole adulthood, she could do all the things that we talk about that would make our lives easier. See, and here's the thing. It's not that the people in our lives don't love us, but what works for us may not work for them. So we have to then kind of build our lives around those other people. Whereas she didn't she could do whatever the hell she wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Well, thanks for popping on here. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm going to watch me some baseball.
Nice.
Let's go. Team USA, baby. Let's go.
Enjoy. All right, buddy. Love you.
All right. Kind of like you.
Love you.
Love you.
All right. He said it. It's on YouTube, people. See ya.
See ya.
All right. All right. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because the fun's not over. We're going to keep this thing rolling.